Hey guys, LevelCap here. Today's Monday, which means it's time for an episode of Loadout, the series where you guys, the viewers, get to pick a gun and customization for me to use. The way you do this is you leave a comment down below letting me know what kind of weapon and accessories you'd like me to run with, and I will pick one of the top rated comments for the next episode. Today's top comment comes from Nikolai Belinsky. He says, the Battlefield 4 Tryhard Loadout Shotgun Edition. Class is support. Primary is the Saiga 12. Remember to spam fire the shotgun when you see people like crazy. Attachments is the coyote sight, green laser sight, buckshot, and a full choke, and an ergo grip or vertical grip. Secondary is the G18, attachments mini red dot sight, suppressor, and green laser sight. Gadget is the M18 Claymore, since I figure you play TDM and most people opt for Claymore on TDM instead of C4. Ammo box. Grenade is the M84 Flashbang, perk defensive. You are the biggest tryhard on the battlefield. Use your tryhard loadout to wreck noobs on the battlefield and camp in the corner whenever possible. If someone chases you or you hear something coming. As a tryhard, you've refused to use shotguns in the past, but all that changed when the spring patch came out and buffed shotguns and flashbangs. However, you as a tryhard refuse to use pump action shotguns and opt for one of the most overpowered shotguns in the game. I love your content, LevelCap. Enjoy. And this is a great clip here to segue into, as I'm going to get both of the end MCOM arms with one life and take out quite a few enemies while I do it. The Saiga 12K with a full choke is very deadly at medium range. It certainly helps that my team is doing a lot to back me up in this situation, and I do miss some easy kills from time to time, which would have certainly ended my kill streak, but that's part of Battlefield there. Sometimes you just get lucky. And I've said it before, but I'll say it again. Holy crap, have shotguns gone from being one of the worst weapon choices in the game to one of the best. It's not something I would use for any situation, but if I was playing a map that offered a lot of close quarter infantry combat, the Saiga 12K with buckshot is brutal. You don't even have to use the full choke depending on what kind of engagement range you want to go for. Personally, I like using it without any choke or maybe a modified choke just to give me a little bit better spread in close quarters. This thing does so much freaking damage, and it's usually a 2-shot kill at medium range, occasionally even a 1-shot kill. Using the flashbang here to cross some open territory, it's a bit of a risky move, but there's one MCOM left and our team is making a good push. Get to the MCOM right before the rest of my teammates do and get the final arm, and it does go off. Now again, here we are on a rush map, and I know the comment talked about team deathmatch, and I will get to the TDM, but I kept getting paired up in TDM servers with a lot of team stacking going on, and it just wasn't that fun to play in. But I'll show you some TDM clips with this gun. Again, it's very, very good in TDM scenarios when, of course, the map favors it. I'm not going to say that the Saiga 12K with buckshot is necessarily the most overpowered thing in the game, but for close quarter combat, it is an absolute beast. I don't know if I would prefer it though over something like an AEK, just because that weapon's a little bit more versatile, and frankly it doesn't require as much skill to get kills with it in close quarters. And you would think, you know, a shotgun doesn't require necessarily a lot of skill. Well, it does require you to be precise whenever you take your shots. It's a different kind of skill than a full auto weapon. That being said, you put the Saiga 12K in the right hands and this gun can get 9 kills before you need to reload. That's just not going to happen with the AEK. It's frankly going to be pretty rare that that ever happens with the Saiga 12K, but it will from time to time, and just being able to get so many kills before I need to think about reloading gives me massive potential in CQB to clear out entire squads. And as much fun as it is to fire this gun as fast as possible and just spam fire like crazy, it is most effective to use this weapon when peeking properly. That is, quick peeking, taking one shot, taking out your enemy. In fact, you can do this better with a shotgun than you can any other weapon in the game, because shotgun you only fire one shot and then you can back up a bit. You don't have to stick around and try and finish off your target. And as you can see here, it's an excellent MCOM defense weapon when the enemy starts getting in close quarters. You can absolutely wreck them, and I don't really know what my team was doing here, not backing me up I guess, and sadly they were able to get both of the MCOMs in this situation here and push us back. And that's just something that happens when you have a lot of tickets in a rush server. At the very beginning of the round, everybody picks their defensive positions, and then as the match continues you get a little bit lazy, defense gets sloppy, and they get in there and get the arms. Now this clip coming up here, you're going to see me defending an MCOM going from close quarters to medium range to a little bit further, longer range I would say. And in this situation I probably would have been better off with your average assault rifle, 416, an AEK, an Ace 23. those would have probably served me a little bit better in this situation. It's not to say that the Saiga 12K isn't doing a good job, it just would have been a little bit more effective for me to have an assault rifle here, and I probably could have done more damage overall. Now, I didn't hip fire too much with this weapon. On occasion, it seems to be sort of a hybrid between long range and hip firing, just to give me options there. Not a bad setup overall. I might use maybe the angled foregrip. I'm not really sure what I would want to use with this shotgun. The one thing that still bugs me about shotguns, even though they buffed them incredibly, is they didn't fix the overall problem with the aiming of shotguns, which is the random spread deviation with these weapons, so you can get a lot of pellet count to one side rather than the other. And a lot of other shooters don't do this with shotguns. Battlefield is one of the few shooters I've seen give them random bullet deviation, which in my opinion is not the best way to go, because it sort of adds a bit of random factor to the game. It really is like rolling the die every time you take a shot. Is my spread going to favor left side of my shot or right side of my shot? How accurate is my aim going to be? If I aim dead center, am I going to kill the guy if it favors left side of the shot or right side of the shot? And that's the part of it that I don't really like. That being said, they're still incredibly good guns, but there is that RNG factor, and that's something that I just don't think should be present in any video game. Now here's that TDM gameplay I was talking about earlier, and this is what happens when my teammate puts a spawn beacon up in the corner of the map. I'm able to camp it like a tryhard, as the comment suggested, and I'm actually giving it to the enemy team pretty good here, even though we are getting trounced. And this is some of the team stacking I was talking about. My teammates were just not here mentally, physically. I don't know what they were doing this game, but I'm pushing this angle here, and I'm literally the only one on my team getting any kills. The rest of them are just getting mowed down, and it's a little depressing, especially when you see the scoreboard at the end of the round. So that wraps it up for this episode of Loadout. The Saiga 12K is a beast of a weapon. You're going to absolutely decimate people in close quarters, but not necessarily gain a lot of respect from your enemies or teammates. As always, guys, thanks for watching. Don't forget to leave your comments down below letting me know what to run with for next week, and I'll see you next time. This is LevelCap signing off.